Hello, welcome to Fine Moon Rising. This is a reading for Capricorn. So what I'm going to do is your tarot, astrology, as well as creating a sigil here for you. And your sigil is going to be, I see the path. So moving forward, kind of despite, it's actually in a state of equilibrium. So I really like this for you. I think this is going to be a very steady state month for you. And let's get into the tarot here. So we have the Two of Pentacles here, followed by the Nine of Swords as clarifier, Two of Cups followed by the Magician. We have the Hermit and the Lovers. So the Hermit's followed by the Lovers here, and we'll get into that in a moment. Your overall energy is the Seven of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and also this Four of Swords. Just wanted to jump out willy-nilly, so we'll discuss that as well. And then we have some cards for the end that we'll get to as well. Okay, let's get started here with the Two of Pentacles and then versus the Nine of Swords. So I just feel like there's, with the twos together, so you have the Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, when they're together and they're side by side like that, and one is advice column, so this is just an angel spread here. And so I feel like there's something here that you've been going back and forth on, and you're tired of going back and forth on it. It could be two people you're dealing with, two jobs, living two different places, or, just an indecision situation. And I feel like you're just kind of done with the double back. So there's like the back and forth, this double back, something like that. You're letting go of something in lieu of something else, simply for equilibrium and a steady state. Because I just think you've just been back and forth, and that's just it's not your flow. You want to be stable, you want to be solid, secure, and we'll get into your astrology in just a moment. And there is something here about your safety, security, and things like that, especially in financial. So I feel like you're feeling pushed and you're done with that. So you're cutting away things that are a little bit more on the BS side of the spectrum, and you are going ahead with one singular plan here. Two of Cups here, followed by the Magician. Me, myself, and I, kind of watching out for yourself and using your talents, gifts, and abilities. You do know you have an inner guidance system, because the Magician here, and then the corner up there is the Hermit. So that is definitely following that inner guidance, your inner guidance system, your feelings, identifying feelings, also bouncing things off other people. Not everybody is going to have the same opinion as you. And sometimes if you are in an indecisive situation, sometimes it's just good to find someone who is a sounding board, who can just straight listen, not say a damn thing, not have any expression, be completely stone-faced, and you say, hey, what do you think about that? And then they give you their honest opinion. Find somebody honest, someone who just doesn't care, who will absolutely give you the most honest opinion on the planet, and then instead of just giving you lip service. So I think sometimes we do need those sounding board people, because you're going to be that sounding board for that other person as well. You may be able to help them with something later because they helped you. So there's something here about that. There is this Lovers card though, and then with the Two of Cups, I do feel there's opportunity for love, meeting somebody new, I feel like somebody shows up on your path and you just think nothing of it. But that might be a very important connection. If it's not a love connection, it's a super important connection coming towards you. So I feel that's a very good energy for you at this time. And I think that's just coming together, and you're actually making a choice to kind of reach out to this person, to kind of communicate with them, to be in their sphere. And I think that's very helpful for you. And if you're not looking for love, this might be just like a friend connection, a kismet connection, something that is just, filling. Could be that person that might be that sounding board for you that you may need at some time. Okay, we do have for overall energy the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Six of Swords. And then that Four of Swords wanted to pop out, so very air energy. And I can't say that you're extremely comfortable with this air energy. However, the Three of Cups is the advice. It's like, go with the flow. There's something here about sometimes you just need to go with the flow, see if something works, and if it doesn't, double back. And so, and in the beginning I said, you don't want that double back and forth. However, you have to pick a path. You have to go down that path. If it doesn't work for you, back it on up, try again. There's another path. So don't waste your time. No time wasting. We're not going to be wasting any time right now. Seven of Pentacles, making those choices with the Lovers and the Seven of Pentacles. I feel like there's a lot of choices coming for you, and it is choices that are, you're willing to make, But I do feel like with this Six of Swords here and the Four of Swords that there is some kind of strict time boundaries. They're kind of strict financial boundaries that you have to adhere to. And in the astrology, of course, it does echo the fact that you should probably save your money at this time. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So let's move on. Okay, and your sigil is coming through and it's kind of blue and going with the flow and very pastel. And I just feel like you do need that equilibrium, that steady state, like the ebb and flow of the ocean, but not just like one or the other. You need to see that cycle. You need to be in that equilibrium. You need to know that the tide's going to come in and the tide's going to go out, and it's just be in that flow. And so I feel like that's kind of directed your sigil. I see the path, right? Like you see that path, even though if a wave comes up and hits it and your footprints are gone, you don't know where to go, you're still going to have that path. You're going to know it's there even though there is an obstruction there. All right. This is a month of your inner wisdom. Kind of sings to you. So pay attention to what your inner voice is saying to you, what your intuition is saying to you. You know things that others and see things that others don't. And so there's something here about really paying attention to that. We need to stop, reflect, and then plan. All right. So it's a good month for changes in career and an uptick in financial opportunities. So it's very expansive for that this month. But again, it says security is important. Safeguard your accounts, don't be sharing anything with anybody. If you need to put stuff away, have somebody else, take care of things. It's just something about safeguarding and watching your accounts, such as your house, your mortgage, whatever you've got going on, doesn't matter. But there's something about watching that and paying attention to the ebb and flow. Again, go with the flow of money and things like that, because you're going to see opportunities for adjustment at that time. August 12th, of course, Venus conjunct Jupiter. That's coming right up Tuesday, I believe. Love, there is love in this reading. And career growth. So it's a month of growth, but it's also a month of ebbing and flowing and going with the flow. And so you do have to choose that path, stay that path, and then understand that there might be hiccups, but the hiccups are not going to stop you, because nothing's worse than being in a state of indecision. And I think you're going to be making that big decision, moving on ahead, and I don't think you're going to be in that forever. So I'm going to actually pull some ending cards here, and you'll see them on the screen in a moment here. I just put them at the end, but it is the High Priestess, the Justice card, and the Page of Swords here. And with the High Priestess, that of course is getting on top of things. It's also using that inner wisdom, that inner knowledge, because again, that is that card of Persephone going down. She ate the food of the underworld, which was a pomegranate, in order to stay down there to learn. She wanted to know the dark and the light. She wanted to investigate the shadow. So this is using your inner guidance system, inner knowledge, to make any decisions, any adjustments in your life. And then you also have this Justice card. So in the advice section for Justice, it is definitely weighing and measuring. So it's creating that equilibrium, and that's showing up kind of everywhere in this reading, of you creating the equilibrium and creating that, I believe, a little more softness in your life would be appropriate at this time. So kind of things that are softer on you, and there is, like in the astrology, stop and reflect, then plan. Okay, give yourself the grace, give yourself the time to make these decisions, to follow that path and see what is the best direction for you. Because I just think you might feel a pressure of time, but I don't want you to be lost under it. I don't want you to go under the waves. Just, take it slow and know that, the sun is going to rise tomorrow type thing, and just kind of plod along. And so that's how you're creating your opportunities. And also, be curious. There is this choice of continuing a relationship or starting a relationship. And I think that's just going to be very shocking to you, that just feel like some sort of connection is showing up for you. And then also this Page of Swords here. So epiphanies. you're going to get great insight, but they're little, and it's little kind of tweaks in your direction. And I feel like that is what's needed for you. I think that maybe if there was an onslaught of this huge, grand, epiphany moment, that might, at this time, you're really wanting steady state, and you need something that's just a little more calm. You need kind of a directions, little inklings in order to keep you on your path and keep you steady. Okay, Capricorn, looks like a good reading. If you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. And there's the cards there for you. Okay.